Hi guys, oh my goodness, let's find my voice. Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. I spent quite a lot of time in the garden with nature this morning, and I thought we should do the 4 element spread. We done the triple goddess spread yesterday, so the 4 element spread: earth and water, air and fire, wand, pentacle and sword. This spread works with 4 significator cards, all of the aces. Have I got to get all the aces out? I think so. Okay, let's do that whilst I read. Can I do that? Go through the deck and read at the same time. Let me find the aces here. Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, you always know it's going to be near the end, don't you? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the aces. As the aces classically symbolise the unity and perfection of each of the 4 natural elements, choosing the aces as focal points for this spread make perfect sense to me. To begin, remove all the aces from the deck. I've done that. Arrange them with the Ace of Pentacles, Earth, on the top. There you go. The Ace of Swords, Air, to the right. The Ace of Wands at the bottom, and the Ace of Cups to the left. Take a moment to ground and centre and contemplate the power of each of the elements and what they bring into your life. Ask the elements to help guide you along your path. Repeat this charm. Elements of earth, air, fire and water, assist me now and lend me your great power. Let your magical energies swirl quickly around, allowing strength, wisdom, courage and love to be found. May the messages in these cards show me the way, so I can walk my path with wisdom every day. Now shuffle the remaining cards and ask what lessons you need to learn from each of the elements. Deal 1 new card from the deck next to each of the element cards. Okay. The Earth Pentacle card shows you what you need to be grounded, what you need to, it does say that. The Earth Pentacles card shows you what you need to be grounded, strong and prosperous. So I have that card. The Air Swords card illustrates what you need for knowledge and clear communication. The Fire card announces what is required for success, courage and passion. And the Water Cups card whispers what is needed to bring forth loving emotions and healing. Now that I've read this, I feel I have to do it. Magical variations. If you like, you can add the Magician card to the centre of the circle of aces. Visually, this will increase the focus and the power of the spread. Remember, the Magician has all 4 of the minor arcana symbols upon his altar. This major arcana card is a perfect portrayal of an individual who works harmoniously with the powers of the 4 elements and wisely with nature. Okay, should you decide to add the archetypal imagery of the Magician to the 4 element spread, insert these lines at the end of the previous charm as a tagline. Okay, so Let's find the Magician card. I'm singing, we're in the money, we're in the money. Feels like it's a game show. Magician energy. Here he is. Let's put him in the middle here. We're going to reread the charm and add this on. So should you decide to add the archetypal imagery of the magician to the 4 elements spread, insert these lines at the end of the previous charm as a tagline. So elements of earth, air, fire and water, assist me now and lend me your great power. Let your magical energies swirl around quickly, allowing strength, wisdom, courage and love to be found. May the messages in these cards show me the way, so I can walk my path with wisdom every day. As above, now so below. Around the magician, the answers will flow. That's it. Okay, then it moves on to the Wheel of the Year spread. Well, okay. I don't know why I've closed the book. I need to have a look at the meaning behind these elements. The Earth, Pentacles card shows you what you need to be grounded, strong and prosperous. The card that came out with the Ace of Pentacles is the Knight of Wands. What you need to be grounded, strong and prosperous. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is confident and high-spirited and coming straight towards you. He wears golden armour and is riding a white horse at full gallop. In the knight's right hand is a tall, blooming wand of hawthorn. But he's got the Ace of Wands in his hands here. It's interesting. And a red streamer from the wand snaps out in the wind. The knight's helmet has the visor flipped up so we can see his face and a bit of his pale blonde hair. He is fearless and his expression is intense and passionate. The Knight of Wands wears a flowing bright red cape on his adventure, and that cape is streaming behind him. In the background we see a pretty summer sky at sunset, a lake and 3 mountain peaks. The heraldic lion design on both the knight's tunic and his horse's parade cloak symbolises bravery and strength. The lion itself is classically associated with the element of fire, and the red and gold colours of his costume are another nod to the element from where he draws his passion and sense of daring. The Knight of Wands is a symbol of speed, adventure and action. So I had a sign come up on my phone. It doesn't look like it interrupted the recording, saying that I wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi. Did I want to try again, or did I want to connect to 4G? Okay. That message came through yesterday that it was best to kind of connect to the Wi-Fi. I said about leaving my phone at home because I'd rather connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi is connected. We'll carry on because if I swipe down to have a look, I cut you off. Okay. But thanks for asking. The lion itself is classically associated with the element of fire, and the red and gold colours of his costume are another nod to the element from where he draws his passion and sense of daring. The Knight of Wands is a symbol of speed, adventure and action. Okay, meanings. When the Knight of Wands comes roaring into your life, He brings change, exciting activity, and exhilaration. This is the card of movement. Expect the unexpected. You may find yourself moving to a new job or moving to a new house. An opportunity for travel may present itself. The travel may be for business, as the Suit of Wands is often related to career and business. This card heralds a time of energy, bold moves, action and adventure. This court card may also announce that an energetic, fiery, opinionated and enthusiastic young man with fair hair and pale eyes is about to enter your life, so be on your toes. The Knight of Wands challenge is to embrace change, have an adventure and enjoy the journey. Keywords: adventure, change, confidence, enthusiasm, passion, travel for business, make a bold move now, movement, a new job, a new house. The associated elements: fire and fire. Fire is the Suit of Wands related natural element, while all four of the knights are associated with the energetic element of fire. Okay. So, the Earth Pentacles card shows you what you need to be, grounded, strong and prosperous. Let's move to the Air, the Swords. The Air card illustrates what you need for knowledge and clear communication. I need to have a little drink for the clear communication so I can actually speak. So, let me get my coffee. It seems to be all the way over there. Excuse me guys while I clear my throat. Oh, that was my shoulder clicking. Did you hear that? Oh, and my other one. Okay. Ace of Swords. The Air card illustrates what you need for knowledge and clear communication, and the card is the King of Swords. He came out yesterday. The King of Swords with the Ace of Swords. Let's read it. Illustrates what you need for knowledge and clear communication. We will reread this message. The King of Swords is a handsome middle-aged man with brown hair, moustache and beard. His eyes are dark and attentive, and he has a serious and thoughtful expression, as if he is carefully considering the matter before him. The king sits on a throne that is carved with hawks in an interwoven design. Behind the throne, we can see green trees, a blue sky and windswept mountains. The King of Swords wears a spiky golden crown of knowledge with magical blue topaz stones in it. Topaz stones brings truth and forgiveness and help to illuminate your path. His armour is elegant and well used, as is befitting for a king. The king announces his associations to the elements of air with a yellow tunic and golden cape trimmed in feathers. In his right hand he holds up the sword of truth, and sunlight gleams off the sword. He sits at attention on his throne and looks as if he will move forward quickly and decisively if action is called for. In his other gloved hand he holds a hooded peregrine falcon. The falcon that sits lightly on his hand is calmly waiting for the moment to go hunting. The falcon symbolises swiftness, accuracy and cunning, and it encourages us to be ready to act at the most opportune time for the greatest success. Meaning, the King of Swords is an authority figure. When this card soars into a reading, you need to be aware that your actions may be called into question. This is the card for rulers, leaders and the wielders of justice. The King of Swords has links to the Emperor and the Justice cards, as the King of Swords concerns himself with matters of right and wrong, and also personal integrity and honour. This card quietly calls into question the wisdom of your personal choices And he also announces that it is time to turn your knowledge into action. This man sees the world in black or white. There are no shades of grey for him. He is a successful, clever, reserved and a tad intellectual. He has a good head for business and may be a member of the armed forces, a security guard, a detective or a police officer. The King of Swords also represents a mature man with brown hair and dark eyes who values his integrity above all else. He relies heavily on his common sense and believes in only what can be proven. Like the best kings of old, he is a wise and fair leader who sits in judgment because he must, and who is ready to defend his kingdom should the situation deem it necessary. The lesson of the King of Swords is to turn your knowledge into action while remaining fair and just. It's interesting because it says this card quietly calls into question the wisdom of your personal choices, and he also announces that it is time to turn your knowledge into action. And the Ace of Cups spoke about it will whisper a message through to you. Anyway, the keywords: an air sign, man, authority, a fair leader, judgment, justice, reason, logic, truth, ethics, honour, swiftly turning knowledge into action. Associated elements: air and air. Air is the suit of swords-related natural element, while all four of the kings are also associated with the wise and thoughtful element of air. Okay, let's move on to this Ace of Wands here, which this masculine on his horse in the Ace of Pentacles is holding. He's got a tight grip of. Okay, so the Wands. The Fire Wands card announces what is required for success, courage and passion. Let's have a look at what is required for success, courage and passion. The Six of Swords. Let's have a look at this card and its meaning. A young man sits in the back of a small wooden boat. His muscular arms are bare. He wears a soft purple vest and grey pants as he paddles his way across the water towards a distant shore. In the distance, surrounding the lake, you can see mountains. A breeze blows his brown hair back from his face, and we can see just a bit of his right profile. The man is content and concentrating upon his journey. To link this card further to the element of air, there is a dragonfly motif along the sides of the yellow boat. Inside the wooden boat are 6 swords standing up, point down, and arranged neatly in front of him. The swords are not damaging the boat, perhaps they are plugging up the holes. These swords represent that even though you carry your troubles and concerns with you, you do not have to be weighed down by them. The blue skies and clear horizon indicate that this is a good time for travel. Okay, let me have some drink. I'm thirsty again. Meanings. Traditionally, when the Six of Swords sails into a reading, it means travel over water. Today it shows movement and progress of any kind. The querent may be planning a trip for pleasure or business. This card signifies that it is a good time for movement, change, and the experience that travel brings. Expect forward movement, improvement to the current situation, a new job, moving to a new home, and of course, travel for pleasure. Enjoy the journey. There is smooth sailing ahead. Okay, the keywords: travel over water, movement, a new job, moving to a new home, travel for pleasure, progress, improvement, and smooth sailing ahead. This is a beautiful message, and it all indicates that the masculine is coming and he's heading directly for you, Divine Feminine. Let's have a look at the Ace of Cups. The Water Cups card whispers what is needed to bring forth loving emotions and healing. And we have the Two of Swords. Very interesting, because that's the card we finished with. It was the only feminine card. And again, it is the only feminine card here. Okay. This card whispers what is needed to bring forth loving emotions and healing. The Two of Swords. Okay, let's read the Two of Swords again. So the cards that I've repeated are the King of Swords and the Two of Swords. That's my daughter. She's quite energetic this morning. Okay, if you can hear the giggling in the background. A woman with straight brown hair and bangs sits on a stone bench in front of a calm lake at twilight. Pretty mountains are seen in the distance. A crescent moon hangs low in the twilight sky. The woman is blindfolded and her arms are crossed over her chest. Her hands are at her shoulders as if she is protecting her heart or closing herself off. She wears a flowing gown of ivory with skin blue trim. While she is intense and on guard, she is no victim. She is keenly aware of her surroundings. By wearing a blindfold, she is calmly relying on her other heightened senses to alert her to danger. Her sleeves are tightly fitted at the wrist, which keeps her hands free for handling the swords. She is ready to strike out if necessary. The woman is depicted at twilight because she is at an in-between state. Her back is to the moon and to the water to illustrate that she has turned away from her emotions, or at least shut them down for a time. Small clumps of the herb lavender grow on either side of the stone bench. In the language of flowers, lavender symbolises distrust, which is appropriate for this woman. Also, the herb lavender is associated with the element of air and is very protective when grown in a witch's garden. Two fairies hover above the lavender. Two fairies hover above the lavender, one on either side of the woman. Interestingly, the fairies face the water. Perhaps they are helping to watch her back. Meanings: when this card turns up in a reading, it is a warning that you have blocked off your heart and emotions and are holding in your feelings. You are literally refusing to see what is right in front of you. Your heart says one thing while logic says another. This is really just shouting out, Divine Feminine, just believe what this reading's telling you. The Divine Masculine is on his way. Your heart says one thing while logic says another. The water in this card represents your emotions and the repression of them. Just as a woman has turned her back on her feelings, you need to be aware that you are blocked and have closed yourself off. You may think you have balance, but there is no resolution. Take a careful look at both sides of the situation. Consider your options. Boundaries are a positive thing, but do not shut yourself off from others. Be like the water and the swords in this card. Stay calm and reflect like the water while you work through this. And be balanced like the swords as you work for equilibrium and understanding. The keywords: the heart and mind are not in agreement, putting up unhealthy boundaries, holding in your true feelings, working for balance of heart and mind, and considering your options. Let's finish this reading, guys, with a Sacred Spirit reading card. This reading hasn't been that long, has it? It felt like it was a long reading. Okay, first of all, let's have a flick through Goddesses Never Age. I'm looking at the back of the book of the Witch's Tarot. As I will it, so shall it be. Let's have a read of this before we finish with a Sacred Spirit reading card. Okay. Whatever your complexion, you can increase your body's ability to manufacture collagen that will make your skin healthier and younger looking. Eat a low glycemic diet and take supplements such as vitamin C and DC. Skincare products with ingredients, are you serious with me? Skincare products with ingredients such as Pureria mirificia physica. Let me spell that for you. The first word, Pueraria. Second word, Mirifica, can help prevent collagen breakdown. If you live in the northern hemisphere and are entering your ageless years, you probably need 5,000 IU of vitamin DC in winter to keep your levels where they should be. Okay, did somebody need to hear that? All right. Okay, we're going to male sexual health. Just like women, as men reach their 40s and 50s, they typically undergo a transition into a new stage of life. Although this is medically called andropause, I really dislike the term because it can be a form of the same hexing of men's sexuality as menopause is of women's. By hexing, I mean that as soon as you set up the cultural expectation that people will face challenges at a particular time in life, people will respond by having crises they might not have had otherwise. Yes, at this stage of life, testosterone levels in a man may drop, but this is not inevitable. It depends on a man's health and well-being. It also depends on how big his gut is. That beer gut that so many men develop creates all kinds of hormonal havoc because it produces inflammatory chemicals and excess estrogen, which shuts down testosterone. And just as in women, men's old buried emotions may come to the surface in the form of physical problems. For men, it tends to be erectile dysfunction and circulation problems. Erectile dysfunction drugs such as Cialis and Viagra may resolve men's difficulty with attaining an erection, but mask deeper problems of unresolved anger, fear, and grief that may stem from sexual abuse. I once heard Dr. Oz call the penis the dipstick of men's health. By this, he meant that erection problems may be the first thing that signals the beginning of heart disease. And as we have already discussed, heart problems are often associated with old, unresolved resentment and grief. If a man in your life is having health or sexual issues, his main issue may actually be his fear of mortality, which is showing up as a loss of potency. Share with him what you know about cultural portals and biology. Suggest to him that he hasn't even begun to reach his peak of effectiveness. And yes, erectile dysfunction is far more common in men who sit all day long. So if you have a male partner, tell your partner to get up off the chair and join you in pleasurable movement. Ow. Because a man's sexual prowess is so deeply connected to his sense of power in the world, he may act out by having an affair or develop a sudden obsession with pornography to prove to himself that he's still got it. Remember the movie Moonstruck, when Loretta's, Cher's mother, Rose, played by Olympia Dukakis, asked the character, Johnny, why a man would need more than one woman. He replies, maybe because he fears death. Men may have sex with a new woman to feel alive again. As his partner, you can be that new woman yourself by reconnecting with your own vitality. Several years ago, I met a man who was in his 70s who told me that he no longer needed Viagra for sex since his wife started the Mama Genome Mastery program and connected with her own sexuality and sensuality. Unfortunately, some men are so overwhelmed by the challenge of opening their hearts. Let's repeat this. Unfortunately, some men are so overwhelmed by the challenge of opening their own hearts that they can't maintain their commitments to their partners. As a woman partner with a man who is having a so-called midlife crisis, you can best support him by being your most joyous, flourishing self. He may not like this at first. He may feel as though he is losing control of you, because he is. But that will most likely save both of you from disconnecting from each other. You need to take the lead in being a role model for pleasure and joy in life. Women set the tone for men. Don't allow his anger or sadness to drag you back down, which would be a disservice to you and to him. Do not make the mistake of waiting to have fun until your man agrees to accompany you on the pleasure train. This is awesome. Come on, it is. Oh dear. Do not, in italics, the not. Do not make the mistake of waiting to have fun until your man agrees to accompany you. I can't get that word out. Accompany you on the pleasure train. Board it yourself and then invite him to come along. Oh, the next chapter, well, the next section is called Erotic Anatomy. Okay, let's finish with a Sacred Spirit reading card. Wow. It's interesting because as I was shuffling, I was thinking about last night's message and how that got quite sexual. And the card that came out for that portion of the reading, part 2, was card number 29, Open Intuition, Seek Clarification. It's like there is no misunderstanding in the message, is there? This masculine, it's definitely something about a business trip or a trip for pleasure, being invited, and obviously don't allow yourself to get dragged down. It's like you're doing yourself as a service, and also as a service to him. Okay, it's like this is what he needs and you know it. Interesting. I'm sexy and I know it. So open intuition, seek clarification. I am not going to read that card again. So this is the third time that a card's come out that we had out in yesterday's reading. Okay, I'm not going to read it, no. I will read this card. Card number 6, Birth of Creation, Potential Growth. Personal growth and a fresh start. Since ancient times, the egg has been a symbol of the universe, creation and life itself. It's symbolic of the holy resurrection and Trinity, the seed of potential life and luck and wisdom. A representation of womanhood and fertility, eggs need incubation and serve as protection for the growing life within. A gathering of energy, a combination of light and shadow, yin and yang, all meeting in one sacred space, evolving and growing at a rate invisible to the outside world. Like an egg, life can be fragile. Given a sustainable environment, life emerges, cracking and opening its protective layer to witness the outside world. You are also a product of your environment. Everything that is around you is destined to evolve, change, and develop as you grow physically. These environmental influences form a part of your conscious actions as you adapt to the world around you. Spending time with other people can influence your behaviour, character, thoughts and beliefs, positive or negative, Their energy integrates with yours and can affect your choices. Spend more time with people that ignite the fire in your soul rather than those that hold you back from success. Right now, your spirit is asking you to try new routines. Get creative. Create a vision board about what you would like to achieve in life, whether small or large goals, interests, or short or long-term achievements. Take the time to nurture these areas. Birthing new ideas and projects now will bring many blessings. Family matters, children and fertility are in focus now. Seek professional advice to maintain or provide a sustainable and healthy environment. If you are preparing to start or add to your family, your physical issues and emotional matters need to be addressed now. The shadow aspect, resurrecting the past, rigidity, victim-based mindsets. The Archangel Assistance is Archangel Jophiel. Family harmony. Family harmony. Nurture life. The affirmation, I adapt lovingly to new environments. I nurture new life with love. Let's leave this reading there, guys. I will catch up with you all soon. Until then, take care. Much love. Bye for now.